What's going on, YouTube? Back at it with another video. Look, we got some true crime today. We got the case of the Oxley family. Said the cops think the stepmom killed their dad until the 6-year-old reveals his clue, man. That's what I be saying. You see 6 years old, that's why I be telling like my cousins and shit, like my sisters and brothers, like when they around their kids, you gotta really watch what you saying and what you're doing around them kids, because it don't matter how old they is, they soaking that shit up. Like, for real, they hear what you say, they comprehend it, and if they don't, one thing about like negative shit in life, you don't need to know what's going on to know it's negative. You feel it, you know that's bad. When you was a little ass kid, you see a grown ass woman walking this bitch butt ass naked. For some reason, that was crazy. It was just like, hold up, she's naked. She got her boobies out. Oh, her vagina. Like, it's crazy. So they know. They might not know exactly what sex is, but they understand some of it to where they know that's bad. That's nasty. We're not supposed to talk about that. Oh, that's a cuss word. Not supposed to say that. Naturally. So watch what you're doing for them kids. Because they're going to remember. You got to realize these niggas only been there 6 years. They ain't got a lot to not remember. So they're going to remember the bad shit. For real.
The worst feeling thinking that you're gonna blame for your husband's death.
This is Melissa Oxley. 5 hours before this footage was recorded, Melissa was living a picture-perfect life with her husband Ben and her 6-year-old stepdaughter, Alyssa. The couple had been married for over a year, and Melissa had even adopted Ben's daughter on the day of their wedding.
Damn.
She was the mother Alyssa never had. But on February 21st, 2008, things took a disturbing turn for the worse, when at 3:30 a.m., Ben Oxley was found murdered in his bed with a shotgun wound to his head. His wife Melissa claims she was asleep next to him, but saw nothing.
Damn, deep sleeping bitch. You sleeping right next to him and you don't hear a shotgun go off? Huh? I ain't gonna lie, as a cop, I believe you had something to do with it. I'm not gonna cap. You didn't hear a shotgun go off. You sleeping right next to him, and you didn't hear boom. I'm in the back room. I can hear when somebody knock on my door like that in the front. My cousin and my brother in there, that nigga could be talking on the phone. I could hear him way in the front room. When I'm chilling on here with y'all, headphones on, I'm damn for sure, bro. Do y'all know how loud a shotgun is? And then to hear it inside of a room? Like, come on, girl.
She was covered in blood and was physically unharmed.
The other thing I don't understand is why if somebody shoots him, why you can't see anything.
I was still asleep, like I slept down.
Police are convinced she killed her husband.
If it was just a random murder, why don't they take you out? I mean, you're right there.
The problem is, Melissa is innocent. The plot behind the murder of Ben Oxley would remain a mystery if it wasn't for one clever 6-year-old girl who wasn't asleep. That night, Alyssa saw something she should have never seen, and it could save her mother's life.
Thank God she's seen it, because mom would be locked the fuck up and she's innocent. Imagine being locked up for killing your husband or your wife and you didn't do it, and they just like, nah, you did it because it's just not making sense. That's why. They ain't got no proof or nothing. You did it. It's just like, don't make sense to them. So they like, yeah, you did it. There ain't no way you slept through that. But you dead ass took sleeping pills and was knocked the fuck out. It was the night that your allergies was kicking. So you said, fuck it, I'm going to take 2 Benadryl. And that shit had you super knocked out. You hearing bah, boom, and then you thinking it's in your dream. You just sleep. She took 3 melatonin, nigga, and woke up husband dead. She got to be in the precinct. They said she killed him. Oh my gosh.
Alyssa, how old are you?
6. I woke up and heard this creak at the front door. I just looked out and I saw someone walking in.
Do you know who they were?
It's 2004. In the town of Minden, Nevada, 32-year-old Ben Oxley is a newly single dad trying to rebuild his life after a somewhat bitter divorce. After gaining shared custody of his daughter, Alyssa, he pours his whole heart into raising his 3-year-old. Together, they share a special bond like no other father and daughter. He takes Alyssa everywhere, even to a Valentine's Day event where the young father and daughter dance to their favorite song, Butterfly Kisses.
he was truly her best friend. And he was the best dad. That's all he cared about was Alyssa. That was his priority, was to take care of her.
He drove himself to be the best he could be for Alyssa.
Everybody said that he loved me more than anything, and I think it's true.
A year later, Ben begins looking for love again. He meets a woman named Melissa, and it seems like almost instantly, in their first few conversations, sparks are already flying. As they plan to finally meet in person, the single dad even brings Alyssa on their first date, as her approval meant the world to him.
Yeah, that's how it gotta be. You gotta have approval from that daughter. And like, you gotta let that person that you talk to know you got kids. You gotta let them know, cause like, you would hate to date somebody and they know you got kids, and then they finally get around your kid or see your kid, and then it's just like, they stop liking you because they annoyed at your kid, or they like cringed by your child. You know, there's some people in this world you can look at and feel cringy by them, and you don't even know why. You don't know nothing about them, but they just cringy for some reason. That'd suck to be dating somebody and they cringy about your kids like that. They're like, man, them little motherfuckers is annoying as shit for some reason. It's possible, man. It's possible.
Our first date, Alyssa was there. Alyssa's like, don't talk to my dad.
I remember meeting her. I didn't really like her.
Melissa, although taken aback by Alyssa's rejection on her first...
That's how it was with my mama had came out, and she was like, she gay. And she was dating this one, well, shit, my stepmom. She started dating her, and I was like, what? Cause like, I ain't like her. I was like, what, nigga, mama, you trying to kick me out the room and shit? Like, I wasn't fucking with her. I was not fucking with my stepmom. Like, when they first started dating, I found out, and then they was gay. I was like, man, this shit weird. No. And on my granny, nigga. She was that lady right there. Tamika Cross was the best lady to ever come in my life when it come to like parent wise. That motherfucker showed me so much. I love her so much. Her and my mom broke up. They weren't even together. I was still, hey Tamika, what's up? Oh, I'm finna come in town and come see you. Like, oh, my mama, she in my life forever now. She showed me so much as a man, like down to working on cars, nigga. I learned that shit from my stepmom. Cutting hair. I kind of learned that on my own, but I got a little bit of stepmom and my dad. But like, just like man shit, I literally learned that from my stepmom. How I can talk to a female and she end up just paying for something. I got that shit from my stepmom, bro. She literally taught me that shit. That shit is crazy.
First date isn't upset at all. Rather, she absolutely falls in love with the bright child, finding her childish jealousy adorable. As Ben and Melissa's love blossoms, the three of them start forming a new blended family. It's now September 17th, 2006, almost a year after the young couple started dating. And now, they're getting married. And of course, they don't forget to create a special ceremony for the now 4-year-old Alyssa, the little flower girl. During the wedding, Melissa the bride bends down to the little girl and gently puts a bracelet on her wrist, engraved with her promise that they will always love each other and be there for each other as family.
Letting her know that I will always love her as my own.
Shortly after the wedding, Ben and Melissa were granted full custody of the little girl, no longer having split custody with Ben's ex-wife, Dawn. This brings together the full family, Ben's daughter and Melissa's teenage brother Craig, under one roof. From this day forward, Alyssa has a new stepmother. Built on love and with a bright future ahead of them, the new family has no idea that their life will take the most unimaginable turn. It's February 21st, 2008, 2 years after the happy wedding. At around 3:30 a.m., the Nevada police station receives a disturbing 911 call.
911, address of your emergency.
I was sleeping. I turned on the light to wake up my husband, and it's really, really bad.
On the phone with 911 is Melissa Oxley, the stepmom. Her voice shakes as she tells them she just woke up in bed, next to her husband, covered in blood. The operator quickly dispatches police to the scene while continuing questioning.
Is he awake?
No, he's dead.
He's dead. So you think somebody came in and shot him?
Yeah.
Where's your husband at?
No, lay down, lay down. I'm so sorry.
Who are you talking to right now?
My daughter.
Just stay in the bedroom with your daughter, okay?
6-year-old Alyssa is in a state of shock as she begs her stepmother to let her see her dad, but Melissa refuses, holding on to the little girl.
But I want to go see my dad. I want to go see my dad, and I just told her, you can't You can't go see your dad.
Suddenly, the stepmother hears noise coming from outside the room. She urgently updates the dispatcher, fearing an intruder might still be in the house.
Please get somebody.
Okay, while I'm talking to you, my partner is dispatching units out, okay?
We immediately call code 3, lights and sirens, driving as fast as we can to get to the scene.
When police arrive, the front door is wide open. On alert, they approach the empty foyer. It's pitch black, all the lights are off, and they hear nothing but the eerie silence.
I was thinking, am I gonna see a deceased person, or am I gonna encounter someone pointing a gun at me?
Right.
Police quietly make their way through the house
could still
and head
be
to the
in the
first
house ready to
bedroom.
blow shit
There,
down
as they
more.
peek inside, they find a dark figure lying in bed, covered by blankets, not moving.
We're yelling sheriff's office, show us your hands, multiple times, and we're getting no response from the subject that's in the bed under the covers.
All of a sudden, a young man emerges from under the blankets, seemingly waking up from a deep sleep as he raises his hands in the air. Panicked, he tells the police, who are pointing their guns at him, that his name is Craig. The 17-year-old is Melissa's younger brother, who was living with the family at the time.
And from that point, my attention got drawn back out to the hall.
It's not even his brother, it's the stepmom's little brother. I would hate that, because he's like, I don't like how you fucking treating my sister. You're yelling at her. You're fucking my sister. And he went and killed her. Killed him. And that makes so much sense why he wouldn't do it to his sister. He fucked around, drugged her or some shit. Had her super knocked out. Went, did it, and laid back in the bed and went to sleep like it wasn't nothing. Oh my gosh. You big bitch.
Hallway, and I saw Melissa. She's standing there. She's got blood on her clothing, and just in shock is her face.
Melissa stands in the hallway, holding a phone in one hand and her stepdaughter in the other. Police quickly clear the rest of the house, finding no one else except the body of Ben Oxley in the master bedroom.
I could tell that there was a shotgun wound to the back of his skull.
Damn.
It appeared when I did my initial investigation that he was asleep when he was killed.
There are no signs of a break-in, no shattered windows, no forced-in doors. To the investigators, it feels like the killer wasn't a stranger. Maybe it was someone who lived there, Melissa, or her teen brother, Craig.
Right.
They are brought into the police station for interrogations, and little Alyssa is now separated.
Yeah, like getting shot in your sleep, like you like, he just probably like a soul just running around. He don't even know he's dead, you know? Cause like he don't know. He just was asleep, and then out of nowhere, he just never woke up again. Like, damn, bro. Imagine being in a dream forever, and then for some reason you see your whole family walking around. You're like, hey, and they can't hear you or nothing. Now you gotta find a medium so they can send them to the light, man. Shit.
From her stepmother. Everyone is doing everything they can to make sure she's safe, but at only 6 years old, she cannot comprehend what is happening. She does not yet realize that she will never see her loving father, her closest friend, ever again. Trying to figure out who is responsible for Ben's murder, suspicion.
Billy Bong, it definitely was his dumb ass. Bad to the bone. That nigga looked like Michael Myers whenever he was a little kid. He'd kill your cat type shit. Yeah, school shooter vibes, man. He give me all type of crazy type of vibes. RCDC shoes wearing ass. With the fat tongue. Nigga ain't had no coochie yet, nothing, but he wants something bad, and he don't mind taking it. Damn.
Tightens on Craig when police find 2 shotgun shells on his nightstand. The ammunition is his. He's the only one in the family with an interest in guns.
Craig had duck hunting equipment, avid hunter, and somebody who knew a firearm. Ben Oxley had been shot with a shotgun. That was very suspicious.
However, despite 2 shotgun shells standing on his nightstand, Craig claims he was sleeping until police arrived.
I was pretty tired last night. I was in a pretty deep sleep even when I got there. I didn't even know what was going on really.
So you didn't hear anything?
No, my doors were shut.
Did you kill Ben?
Did you kill Ben? I did not. I can tell you that right now. It wasn't me. So you telling me you ain't hear none either? So just big deep sleep just running the whole fucking family. Ain't nobody hear shit. But it's shotgun shells on the ground and a whole grown ass man with his head blown off. Ain't nobody hear nothing though. Sound like motherfuckers want some insurance money or something. Some life insurance, Sean. You niggas starting to piss me off, Sean.
Investigators aren't convinced by Craig's story, but when the test results come back, the room falls silent. There's no gunpowder residue on his hands, no evidence that he fired a weapon. He was, as he claimed, in his room asleep at the time of the murder. The focus shifts. Now, all eyes are on Melissa.
Why somebody sees him, I can't see anything.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Sometimes people know more than they want to tell or share. And I really need it all.
I honestly don't know.
It's the worst feeling thinking that you're gonna blame for your husband's death. No.
It's counterintuitive. Oh, my mama, she's getting blamed from the husband's death, and they really go through with any of it by a little bit. On Granny State, she need to sue the fuck out they ass for fucking up your mental everything. Yeah, sue them for every bit you can. They trying to blame you for killing your husband, and you was legit sleep and don't know what's going on. You in there crying and everything. Like, what? I'm suing you niggas.
Intuitive to your thought process when you see she's covered in blood, but she wasn't hurt. She's giving me a story. I want to know the truth, obviously, but is this really the truth? Because how could you be in close proximity to somebody that gets killed and not be involved?
Melissa quickly becomes their prime suspect. She insists she knows nothing about her husband's death, but the detectives don't believe her. How could she have been sleeping right beside him and not noticed anything? To them, she's the only lead they have, but at this moment, they have no proof, no hard evidence to arrest her, or to arrest anyone for that matter. But what the detectives don't know is that in the room next to the murder, the little girl wasn't asleep as she should have been. In fact, she was the only one in the house who saw something crucial that night. But before we continue with Alyssa's story, we'd like to thank today's video sponsor, Raycon. The holiday season is a time for connection, to show the people in your life that you see them and understand what matters to them. But it's not always easy, and sometimes it can feel like guessing. That's why for us, earbuds, at Unseen, we found Raycon editing, or just enjoying music voice. Raycon's every 32 not only deliver also support and lets you lay your head down. Raycon's every time to order. Your recipient is T and easy returns. By choosing Raycon ear, go to buy 25% when you go sponsoring this video. Hits a wall as they to the case of Alyssa. At this point, the investigation hits a wall as they neither have any physical evidence putting Craig at the crime scene, nor any proof that Melissa has killed her husband, and police are forced to release.
Damn, it's 2004. Yeah, motherfuckers wasn't just having cameras like that. Damn.
Both suspects. However, police then uncover a $400,000 life insurance policy Ben left behind, all of which would go to Melissa if he passed away.
Told you. Sound like some life insurance behind this shit. Ain't everybody deep sleepers but the little girl, and she's related to her dad, not the dude and the wife, not the wife and the little brothers, step brother. They just deep sleeping as family. Can't hear shotguns, but they know about insurance policies though. Oh, it's getting good.
Though Melissa claimed to know nothing of the policy, this feels like a smoking gun, particularly to Ben's family, who feel that it's very possible that Melissa killed her husband for this big payout. With rumors swirling, now the whole town is closely watching this newly widowed woman, and they all have their own theories of how she escaped the murder charge.
Everybody in town just assumed that his wife murdered him while he was sleeping.
Even if they find it,
she's the prime suspect. She's the wife. She was laying in bed with him. It doesn't make sense that she wasn't shot.
As the investigation goes on, to protect the little girl, a judge sends Alyssa back to her birth mother, Ben's ex-wife. Alyssa is left in a family she knows very little about, now living with her birth mother Dawn, Dawn's new boyfriend James, and her other children. But despite being back with her birth mother, the little girl desperately misses her stepmother, Melissa. The 6-year-old is dealing with the sudden grief and sadness of losing her father, a man who was always there for her, someone who cared for her, supported her, and sacrificed everything for her.
His daughter was his priority. Alyssa was everything to him. He was so joyful,
all the good ones gotta
fun,
leave.
loving dad.
A deadbeat daddy would never go through this shit. A deadbeat daddy live a great life, get rich, and just for some reason just live life. When you in your kid's family, you do everything. The kid love you to death. Like, you're the best father ever, Dad. I love you, Dad. Yeah. They end up dead. Or losing everything. Or just something. Get cancer or some shit. That's fucked up. So, that being said, don't be a great dad and don't be a horrible dad. Like, balance it out. Like, sometimes don't show up. Like, miss a football game or something every now and then. And tell your son you're going to be there and then just miss it. On purpose. You know, have a balance with this shit. Because I don't want y'all... I hate for y'all to be a great person and just die. The good ones die too early. So you got to put a little bad out there so you know you can last long enough. You know, put a little fuck up out there so you can live a little longer. But don't fuck nobody's life up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real.
He drove himself to be the best he could be for Alyssa.
All Alyssa wants is for things to go back to normal with her dad and stepmother. But, separated from Melissa at her new home, the little girl is exposed to all the nasty rumors and accusations being thrown at her stepmom. Everyone around her is talking about her father's killer, and they are all pointing the finger at Melissa, especially her mother, Dawn.
She told me that she thought my stepmom killed my dad that night. Yeah, I didn't believe it, but...
Against all odds, the 6-year-old is the only one who believes in Melissa's innocence, even though the pair are being kept separate. Despite what others say, Alyssa trusts herself that the love she experienced and the happy time she spent with her father and stepmother were true. What she's able to tell detectives is something that nobody has been able to confirm until now.
One thing investigators did not expect was that Ben's 6-year-old daughter, Alyssa, could have been a witness.
I woke up and heard this creak at the front door. I heard it and I just looked out and I saw someone walking in.
Do you know who they were?
I don't know who it was.
She just recognized it as a person that was looking in on her. That was the first time we now had somebody else possibly involved.
Alyssa's testimony drops a bombshell on detectives' theories about Melissa, and they begin going over everyone who might have had conflicts with Ben. But what they don't realize is that the true killer has actually been right under their noses.
I couldn't think of anybody that would want him dead, you know, besides Dawn.
After Ben's death, Dawn finally gets her daughter back.
I was gonna say, it gotta be like the ex-girlfriend's husband, Don. But like, why would he not with her? She must have went home telling him some shit like, yeah, he used to beat me, do all this. Like, I'll kill that motherfucker. Trust me, I'll do it for you, baby. I love you. Not realizing, like, you going to crash out to kill her, kill him, and the whole time, nigga, you're going to prison. Crash out. That's the definition of a crash out. If y'all ain't know, well, our generation. I don't know about y'all generation. Y'all new motherfuckers, y'all say crash out to every goddamn thing. A motherfucker could be like, damn, man, I just lost my money. Fuck. And walk in the kitchen. Just because he said fuck, y'all be like, bro's a crash out. Bro's a crash out. No. A crash out is going to die about that shit right now. That's a crash out. A motherfucker that don't care. He just finna go in there and fucking do it. He finna start a fight right in the middle of class. Like, that's a crash out. Nigga be like, fuck it, I'm mad. I'm finna go shoot this nigga. That nigga's a crash out. Just because you get an attitude don't mean you're a crash out. Fuck. Ah, damn.
From her ex-husband, something that she's always wanted since the divorce several years prior. Thinking it's finally time to start a new life with little Alyssa, Dawn is unaware that the detectives are actively launching an investigation into her. And soon, they discover that Dawn is not the mother that every daughter hopes for. In fact, it seems Dawn has a history of neglect, of not providing for her daughter.
She met a guy and she would stay the night at his house.
Yeah,
I mean, when her kids are calling us up saying, we don't have any food in the house, can you come and bring us food? There's a problem.
Detectives begin to uncover Dawn.
Yeah, she dibble-dabble in that coke. I know somebody that do it. She definitely do coke. Now, she ain't like a strung-out addict on the coke, but she fuck with it every week or two. She tried meth, but she ain't really like it too much. She ain't like how it make her skin feel dirty. Yeah. She just simple not a good mother, but she a good friend.
Dawn's long history in and out of jail for her drug addiction which turns out to be the exact reason why she lost custody of Alyssa to Ben in the divorce in the first place.
The child custody dispute between Ben and Dawn. That weighed heavily on Dawn. She took that very personally.
In contrast to the happy family household Alyssa had with her father and stepmom, she must now deal with her mother's struggle with addiction to drugs and alcohol, petty crime, and neglect all over again. Investigators now bring Dawn in for an interview, trying to find out if she had any connection to Ben's murder, and to figure out where she was the night of the murder.
She stated that she was at the house the whole time, and that was all that she knew.
Who was at the house?
My son, Devin.
They was in there getting geeked up off that liquor, off them drugs they was taking. They was like, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker right now. And she was in there crying, I just want to see my daughter. Girl, you really don't care. You just drunk and high. Motherfuckers always care once they get high and drunk. When you catch them niggas sober and see how they act around you, how they treat you. You gonna see if a motherfucker care then. Don't let a motherfucker pop a pill and then get to laying up all on you and be happy. I love you so much. Wait till that damn pill wear off. And then ask him, you love me? He fucking gonna be like, get out my face. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm just trying to figure life out right now. Like, nigga, get out of here.
And James. And James is my best friend's son. He hangs out there a lot.
At 4:30, who else is still up?
James was still awake with me. And he just told me to go to bed.
Are you romantically involved with James?
No.
Like, bro, they had to been smoking crack or something like that, but not going dumb with it, because they look good for some drug addicts, fam. Both of them. They look like they do drugs whenever they go out every weekend, or 3-4 times throughout the week, not every day. She one of them meth heads that back in the day, if she would have stopped, she'd still be fine. And he looked like he just dibble dab. His skin don't look fucked up nothing. His teeth probably bad though. Some good looking drug addicts.
Really good friend.
As Dawn tells investigators that James Metline is her new friend, they soon discover that he has a long history of being in and out of prison and has recently been living with Dawn for a while. The night of Ben's murder, he claims he was watching a movie with Dawn at home. Although this sounds like the perfect alibi, something doesn't sit well with the detectives.
We're starting to put James Metline and Ben Oxley into the forefront of our investigation because we...
Hold on, so he cool? There's some small town shit right here. So he cool with her ex-husband's stepbrother that live in the house. And the stepbrother low-key don't like the husband. He don't like the husband. He ain't got shit to do with the husband. He just don't like how the husband treat her, which is his ex-wife, and they got a kid together. She's a fucking drug addict, so she can't take care of her fucking kid. And the dad really just want the best for her, his daughter. So he got custody, took her, and now they mad about it. Because they can't get their shit together. And this nigga really thinking about killing him, and did.
Felt they had something to do with it, we just didn't know what it was.
Now, James is brought into the police station for questioning. He sits across from detectives in a small room. The questions begin, circling around one thing, his possible connection to the murder of Ben Oxley.
Did I kill Ben? No. Do I know who killed Ben? No. Did Dawn kill Ben? No. Do I know anything about the murder? No.
Were you and Dawn in any way involved in the planning of the death of Ben?
No. I'm looking you in your eyes. I did not kill him. James. I had nothing to do with him.
There is no physical evidence, nothing to prove them guilty, and they both adamantly deny any involvement, but time is running out, and if James or
Hold up, Don is a little brother, right? Or Don is him? Hold up, or James the... Okay, so now I'm starting to think the little brother don't have nothing to do with it. Because I was thinking the little brother's name was Don. I'm kind of confused. Now, everything I said about them, I'm with that. I was saying that. But the little brother shit, I'm going to just take him out the story. I'm not sure. I can't even remember his name.
Dawn are involved in the murder of Ben Oxley, 6-year-old Alyssa is in great danger. Melissa desperately hopes to be reunited with her stepdaughter, but legally, the police's hands are tied, and unless they have solid evidence against Dawn and James, they have no reason to take the girl away from them. Alyssa remains in the custody of her birth mother. With no other options, the police focus all their efforts on uncovering the truth. They need evidence, something solid to act on. That's when they turn to their next move, surveillance.
We did open surveillance where we followed them and made sure they knew we were following them around.
We wanted them to see us following them. We wanted them to see us out and about in the community where they were at, to add pressure.
As we started looking at Dawn and James Matling, we started hearing a little bit about them being in a relationship, which was denied at first. And the question is why was that held from us?
The initial interviews at the house, they said they never left. They obtained the surveillance video. We found out James was at the convenience store that morning.
When they say they follow you and they make sure they want you to see them, nigga, they not playing. I went through that shit when I was like, I'd say like 16, 17. Them niggas will follow you, nigga, and then make sure they see you and sometimes stop you and don't even just to talk and don't even like arrest you or nothing. They just check your ID and everything just to get you. Like they was looking for my brother. Like for real, for real. Them niggas would stop me. I remember I was just walking down the street coming from school and them niggas stopped me, pulled me over, had the guns outside the car, put your hands in there. I had my hands in there and I had my phone in my hand. This is around the time like where a lot of niggas was dying. Yeah, I seen my phone in my hand, I dropped that bitch. It hit the ground and it lit up. So they knew. I was like, thank God. When it hit that ground and lit up, I was like, thank God. And it was like, you got your ID? Show me your ID. And I knew like, I'm not digging in my pocket for shit. I was like, it's in my pocket. I was like, can I grab it out my pocket? And then dude just put his gun down, let me grab it. I walked to him, handed my ID. And when he checked my ID, he was like, oh yeah, we're looking for your brother right now. I'm like, wow, you knew exactly who the fuck I was. Duh. We all know y'all looking for him. Like, come on. We went to Louisiana, I remember picking up this girl, this light-skinned chick. Shout out to her. You know you miss me, girl. But yeah, picked this light-skinned chick up, went to Louisiana, came back, nigga, whole SWAT team at the house. In the trees, down the road, down the other street, alleyways, SWAT team everywhere, nigga. And my brother's sitting on the couch eating a bowl of cereal. He know they outside. He eating the cereal. We called into the house like, Terry, you need to go ahead and go outside, bro. You need to go outside so they don't bust in and get you, because he had his daughter with him too. And he was like, man, they're going to take my daughter from me. This is now. I'm like, my auntie went down there, when he came outside, my auntie grabbed my niece. And my brother was like, bro, I'm finishing this food. I'm finishing this bowl of cereal because they ain't going to feed me when they put me in that tank. I was like, this nigga. I was like, bro, this nigga is crazy, bro. That nigga sat there, finished his bowl of cereal. Then he opened the door for my auntie, let my auntie get the baby, and then he just walked out. I'm talking about blocks and blocks of police officers and everything, and then they just like, oh, well, let's go home. I'm like, this nigga is crazy.
Of the homicide.
But no, they follow you.
So we know that now his story has changed. At first he never left the house, and now we know he's out and about in the early morning hours of the night of the homicide.
What do you think I lied to you about?
In that first interview, when I originally asked you if you had gone out of the house that night, you told me no.
Okay.
You made up a big story about how you guys watched movies all night long, how you passed out on the couch, how you, et cetera, et cetera. You went on about that. Later, I found out through surveillance video that you were at 7-Eleven.
So we're finding holes in his story. Now we start looking into them deeply, like, okay, so if you're lying, what else is not true?
But even with the surveillance footage as proof that James was lying about his and Dawn's whereabouts the night of the murder, there still isn't enough evidence to arrest anyone. All other evidence leads to Melissa, who only wants one thing, to be back with her stepdaughter. Police are unsure where to turn next, when, in a twist no one saw coming, a new voice emerges in the investigation, a voice that cuts deeper than any other. Dawn's own teenage son and Alyssa's half-brother, Devin. He walks into the police station, his face heavy with the weight of what he's about to reveal. He says there's something he needs to confess, something crucial that he saw at his mother's house the night before Ben's murder.
Throughout the night, she kept going that she wants Ben dead.
Devin tells investigators about Dawn's rant that night. She hated Ben for ruining her life, for making her pay child support, and she blamed him for taking Alyssa away from her.
Then James, just out of nowhere, kept saying, you know what, I'll go kill him for you. Just give me the word and I'll go kill him for you. And she just kept saying, I just want him dead.
Devin's account changes everything. Suddenly, the walls close in on Dawn. Even her boyfriend, James, turns against her, coming forward with chilling details about the lies, the motive, and how Dawn was the true mastermind behind Ben's murder.
She was always ranting and raving about Ben. I said, I'll take care of Ben. And she said, I don't want you to take care of Ben, I want you to kill Ben.
Damn.
I said, you want me to kill Ben?
I don't want you to just take care of Ben. I want you to kill Ben. It was stepmom the whole time, just calling the shots, and she got her young niggas out there ready to blow something down, and they both fucking her. Niggas in there are definitely doing meth.
Yes.
With Ben out of the picture, Dawn would rid herself of the $200 monthly child support payment and gain custody of Alyssa. With Devin and James' testimonies, the cracks in Dawn's story were no longer cracks. They became gaping holes, coming to terms with how Dawn had manipulated him all along.
You're killing him because of child support, bitch? You know how many of my uncles and shit and cousins and friends that want to kill because of child support and they don't? You kill because you got to pay $200 a month to take care of your kid that you don't see? You're a deadbeat mom. It'd be different if you was there taking care of him and then you'd be mad. I could see that. But if you was there, you wouldn't be on child support. You're not a guy. You're a female. They fuck around and put him on child support. My gosh. Gonna get mad, kill your husband because he keeping your daughter because you was a drug addict drunk. Don't make no damn sense.
James recounts exactly what happened on the night of the murder. He tells investigators that both he and Dawn were in the Oxley's house on the night of February 21st, 2008.
And as I'm walking down the hallway, Dawn stops in front of an open doorway, which wasn't Alyssa's bedroom. And I'm almost to the master bedroom, and I turn around and see that Dawn's not following me.
I woke up and heard this creak at the front door. I just heard it, and I just looked out, and I saw someone walking in.
The scary dark figure standing in Alyssa's room was her own mother, Dawn.
Dawn had...
So Dawn's the mom name, and James is the boyfriend's name. I'm thinking Dawn was a little brother name. So yeah. Whoa. The old mom standing in front of her. That's some gangster shit. She was a gangster. God damn. A fucking dweeb. Being gangster ain't cool all the time, bitch. You was a dumbass. What the hell? Stood in front of him. Yeah, and then went in there and smoked dad. Like, what? And she made sure she stood in that room and gave her some little time so she didn't have to be in there to do it or see it or get caught or blood or something. I don't know. Let's see.
Asked if I kill Alyssa too. And I agreed to it.
Damn.
At this moment, James is ready. The shotgun sits heavy in his hands as he stands in the master bedroom, 2 shells loaded. Outside, Dawn rushes to start the car, the engine rumbling, ready for a quick getaway. Slowly, he raises the shotgun, aiming it squarely at Ben.
I don't know how long I was standing there. Something happened, it jolted, and I pulled the trigger. It shot Ben. It killed Ben.
Next, he pointed the gun at Melissa, his second victim. His finger hovered over the trigger, ready to end another life. But then, something shifted. It's as if a wave of hesitation washed over him. Without firing, he lowered the weapon, turned, and ran out of the room. Moments later, the sound...
That was God. Like, man, nope, don't do it. Because you didn't even want to do it the first time, but it just like, he got scared and bah, did it. That's crazy that no one woke up with that bow. And then was finna take her old girl life. And that ain't nothing but God, bro. That ain't nothing but God that put that in his mind. Like, don't do that. don't do that. And he couldn't fight that. He couldn't fight against that thought. He couldn't fight against it. Walked out. Ran out. Low key could have got away with it because they was finna blame the shit on the wife, Melissa, and they would have been chilling. Blamed it on them and been chilling. Melissa in prison for nothing. Don't know what's going on. If this was like the 90s or the 80s, let's say like the 80s and back, where they can't do too much investigation like how we can now. Oh, she would have been fucky Jucky got a moco loco.
Sound of his footsteps faded as he rushed towards the car, leaving Melissa and the 6-year-old alive. With James' confession confirming their worst fears about Dawn, police are horrified that Alyssa had been in the custody of her father's murderers all along. But the 6-year-old's loyalties never wavered. She knew Melissa was entirely innocent and stuck up for her when no one else believed in her. She told police about the shadowy figure she saw that night, who would prove to be the mastermind behind her father's death, none other than her own biological mother. After taking Dawn and James into custody, Alyssa is finally reunited with her beloved stepmother. Throughout the entire investigation, Melissa had fought for her stepdaughter, and she had been doing the same thing all along. When Alyssa steps through the door of their family home, there is joy and happiness. But at the same time, being back together means the pair must come to terms with the magnitude of the loss of their husband and father, and how to move forward as a new family. 4 years later, on January 31st, 2012, the stepmother and daughter finally prepare themselves for the trial against Ben's killers, James and Dawn. Alyssa, now 10 years old, sits in the courtroom watching the proceedings.
That sucks, bro. 10? That shit sucks, nigga. Because I remember my first time going to court, I was like, I was in the 6th grade, so I was like, 11 years old. Yeah, no, I was like 10, 10, 11. And that shit's scary than a motherfucker. On my mama. Definitely when, and I was going to court for me. Like, it wasn't, I was just in court because of them or them. Like, I was in court for me. And that shit was scary in a bitch. Because I was like, oh, this is like real Judge Judy shit. I was in there. It was a fucking judge. And then the side people. And then you got the crowd of people that's right there. And you got to stand in front of the judge and do this and say shit. And they was like, you plead guilty or this and this or what. You know, I didn't know what the fuck none of that shit mean. I didn't know what the fuck that mean. I just said guilty. And nigga, wish I would have known. Somebody should have told me. I was just fucking 10. And then went back when I was 12, 13 in the 8th grade. Went back, and when the judge seen me again, he was like, oh yeah, boy, nigga, we throwing that book on your dumb ass. He was like, they was finna send me to either juvenile or boot camp. And shit, nigga, they looked up my grades, bro. My mama, my grades saved my ass. My grades saved me a couple times. They looked my grades up, bro. I had literally straight A's and 2 B's. And they was just like, bro, you a good kid. You just keep getting in trouble. And it was because I was getting in fights. That's why. It wasn't like I was on some dumb shit. I was just kept fighting, bro. And I was fighting because Texas, them niggas fucking fight all the time in Texas. So when I moved down there and I was a new kid, they was just fighting. They was just like trying to test a nigga. And I just never been no hoe ass nigga, bro. I can't be a nigga to get bullied. I can't be a nigga to just put my head down. I just can't. I'm not gonna let you. Like, bro, I don't care how big you is. And nigga, I was in that bitch fighting, bro. But it was like I was fighting like Mexicans and shit. I wasn't even fighting like a lot of black people. Like, that was like cool. When I got down there, that was cool as fuck with me. It's like Mexicans. But that nigga punched me hard in the bitch. That nigga socked me. And I'm like, how long, hoe ass nigga? I stood at my seat, nigga, got the beaming off on buddy shit. Bah, 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 bah. He was trying to swing back. Now I was tearing this shit up. Nigga, he hit me one more time. On top of my forehead. Bow. I was like, damn. I felt that motherfucker too. I was like, damn. I remember the teacher grabbed just like strong ass teacher, nigga, and she was carrying us out the room like that, and she made us walk to the office together. Nigga, we was both walking to the office. Bitch ass nigga, I beat you up in the hallway. Oh God, nigga. And I remember my mama was walking in. This turned to a whole story time. My mama had walked in to the office, and I knew it was her because my mama's car used to be like, pop, pop, pop. And I heard that, and I'm like, damn. And I heard them heels. and them keychains walking down the hall, and I was scared as fuck, nigga, because if my mama had to ever come in from work, she'd kill me. My mama came in, she looked at me with that little face. My mama got a lazy eye like me when she get mad. And she looked at me with that motherfucker. I remember swallowing, and she looked at the boy's mama, and the boy mama was like, gave my mama the stankiest look. This Mexican lady, she looked at my mama just like a you fucking N-word with an ER. And all the madness was no longer towards me. She was looking at her like, do we got a problem? Like, is there a problem? She looked at the little boy, and the little boy shit was all beat up and shit. My shit was perfectly fine. On God. She just went in there, she was like, you get in trouble again, I'm calling your daddy. Straight up like that. And that's really what was it. I just had community service. That's it. I had community service. But then in 8th grade, when we got in some more fights, got in some stupid shit, got sent back. Nigga had like 90 days of probation. I had to do like the rest of the school year in ISS. Fucking all my activities got taken away. I had to do community service, or it was go to juvenile alternative school or boot camp. Nigga, I signed up that community service quick, nigga. That shit was horrible though. I hated that shit. But high school, nigga, I didn't get in trouble at all. Nigga, I was a good kid. Fuck that, nigga.
3 years since her father's death, the wounds she carries are deep, and her path to healing will be long. But at this moment, Alyssa knows she has to be strong, and thankfully, she's had a great role model. Her stepmother, Melissa, takes a stand, facing the man who pulled the trigger that fateful night. She testifies against James, the one responsible for taking everything from them.
Emotionally, the damage you have caused me is almost unbearable. For Alyssa, you crumbled her foundation and everything she knew to be right and true.
Alyssa's half-brother and Dawn's son, Devin, also takes a stand to reiterate his statement about his mother's involvement in the murder. In the 4 years since the initial arrest, Devin has left his mom's house and joined the army, and now bravely testifies against her, telling the court about the horrible environment he and his siblings grew up in due to her neglect and addictions. Dawn's parental rights to Alyssa are fully terminated, and she is officially put behind bars for numerous offenses, including parole violations, DUI, and domestic battery. However, with the solid proof that James was the one actually pulling the trigger, the evidence against Dawn now seems mainly limited to only claims of plotting and manipulation, and the case becomes circumstantial. Dawn manages to gain immunity to the murder charge in exchange for her testimony against James, ultimately betraying their supposed initial plan. James pleads guilty to first-degree murder and is sentenced to life without parole. Finally, Ben Oxley has justice. But then, just as James is being taken away to be imprisoned forever, Alyssa speaks up with a surprising and remarkable request. She wants to speak with her father's murderer one-on-one.
I told him that I decided to forgive him and that I wanted him to have hope.
She got God
Despite
in her
the
life. Oh my God. If a little girl can do that, forgive for somebody killing her dad, nigga, while she in the house, bro, anybody can forgive. And I feel like once you forgive, a piece of that hurt on your heart kind of go away. It don't hurt, the hurt losing your loved one don't go away, but just that anger that like, if you can genuinely forgive them, it will. That's just hard though. I mean, I don't think I could do it. I think I could, but nigga, it's hard to even forgive my motherfucking sister boyfriend from bucking at her, nigga. I'd be ready to kill this nigga. But he cool. But it's just like, why you do that? So a nigga killed my daddy or my mama. Man, y'all gotta forgive, man. Y'all just gotta forgive, man.
Tears, grief, and pain of losing her father, Alyssa, at only 10 years old, found the extraordinary courage to forgive her dad's killer. She had only kindness and love to give, even in the face of all she had endured. This allowed her to start the journey of healing and begin to come to terms with the tragedy she experienced. With the guidance and love of her stepmother, Melissa, the pair made their own unlikely family together as true mother and daughter. Their new family even includes Brandy, another of Dawn's children, and Alyssa's half-sister, who was left motherless after the conviction. Though she herself had no connections to Brandy, Melissa committed to paving a new way forward for herself and her stepdaughter, welcoming Brandy as she had Alyssa, becoming the loving mother and safe family that both girls needed.
It is a family, and that's what I need.
Investigation being finalized, I was able to
She gonna be blessed like a motherfucker.
have Alyssa back full time. It was like another piece given back, like we could go on.
As Melissa and her 2 new daughters adjust to their blended family life, they find ways to move past the events of February 21st, 2008.
I try not to think about the murder. I try to just really think about Ben and the memories. It's just like that sense of security and love and smile that I come home to every day. There's still a sense of him here. And
she looked like, Keith, stop it. She was like my little nephew. Yeah, he had them teeth that like, my shit used to look like that too. I used to suck my thumb. I remember my shit used to be straight, but when I was a kid, I used to suck my thumb on my granny. Then them bitches started like. Now nigga got gash like a motherfucker. I used to stuck the fuck out my thumb though. I don't know why I did that shit. Like why kids do that? Fuck my whole gums up, man.
And with us. Like he has so much to live on and the legacy here that he's left and how he loved.
The pair cherishes their memories of Ben and know the happiness and connection the 3 of them felt will live on forever.
I miss him a lot. I think he still loves me and that I'm doing much better than I was at my other house.
It will always be in my heart. He'll never be forgotten.
On her wedding day, Melissa made a promise to be with Ben and Alyssa for the rest of their lives. The love we choose is the love that lasts forever.
Granny's to do. Hey, shut man. R.I.P. to that boy Ben Oxley, man. Charlotte played to that boy Ben. Sweet Jesus on Granny. But to the mama, you should be rotting in that motherfucker. I hope your booty hole burning right now and your coochie stink. And you can be the only one smelling it. Real bad, strong bad smell. That funky donkey donk. Honky tonk donk. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, man. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Turn them post notifications on if you already got them on. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out this thing. Peace. Chicken grease. Wash your ass. Brush your teeth. And try to make somebody's day better if you can. I'm out.